Raymond William Stacey Burr was born on May 21, 1917, in New Westminster, British Columbia, and his early years were shaped by instability and responsibility. After his parents divorced, Burr moved with his mother to Vallejo, California, where financial hardship required him to grow up quickly. He worked various odd jobs to help support his family, learning discipline and self-reliance at an early age. These formative experiences left a lasting imprint on his personality, contributing to the quiet strength and emotional restraint that would later define his screen presence. Burr was not a child actor groomed for fame. Instead, he came to acting through perseverance and necessity. Before fully committing to performance, he worked as a ranch hand, a photo salesman, and held other manual jobs that grounded him in the realities of everyday life. This background gave Burr a depth and authenticity that audiences sensed instinctively. Long before stardom arrived, he had already developed the resilience that would carry him through both success and hardship. Training, early work, and the road to Hollywood. Burr's true passion for acting led him to the Pasadena Playhouse, one of the most respected training grounds for performers in mid-century America. There, his imposing physical presence and natural authority set him apart, even as he continued refining his craft through stage work and radio performances. The transition to Hollywood was gradual rather than sudden, marked by small but steady roles that allowed Burr to learn the mechanics of film acting. During the 1940s and early 1950s, he became a familiar face in crime dramas and film noir, often cast as villains or morally ambiguous figures. Rather than resisting this typecasting, Burr leaned into it, giving his characters complexity and emotional weight. His performances suggested inner conflict rather than simple menace, earning him respect within the industry. These years were not glamorous, but they were essential. Burr was building a foundation, honing a style that combined restraint, intelligence, and quiet intensity, qualities that would later redefine television drama. Film noir and a breakthrough screen persona. Raymond Burr's work in classic cinema reached a wider audience through standout performances in some of Hollywood's most enduring films. In A Place in the Sun, 1951, he brought gravity and tension to a supporting role, holding his own opposite major stars. His portrayal of Lars Thorwald in Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window, 1954, remains one of the most memorable antagonists in film history. Burr's performance relied not on excessive dialogue, but on physical presence, controlled movement, and an unsettling stillness that heightened suspense. These roles demonstrated his ability to convey menace without caricature, reinforcing his reputation as a serious actor capable of elevating material. Though he was rarely positioned as a romantic lead in film, Burr carved out a distinctive niche that showcased intelligence and authority. By the mid-1950s, he was widely respected, though not yet a household name. That would soon change with the arrival of television and a role that would define his legacy: Perry Mason and television immortality. In 1957, Raymond Burr was cast as defense attorney Perry Mason, a role that transformed both his career and the television landscape. At a time when TV drama was still finding its footing, Perry Mason introduced audiences to a courtroom hero defined by intellect, integrity, and moral clarity. Burr's portrayal was calm yet commanding, projecting authority without arrogance and compassion without sentimentality. The series ran for 9 seasons, from 1957 to 1966, and became a cultural institution. Burr won 2 Primetime Emmy Awards for his performance, solidifying his status as one of television's most respected actors. More importantly, Perry Mason reshaped public expectations of legal dramas, emphasizing investigation, logic, and justice over melodrama. Burr approached the role with seriousness and discipline, treating television as a legitimate artistic medium rather than a lesser form of film. His Mason was not flashy or flamboyant, but steady and principled, qualities that resonated deeply with audiences and ensured the show's lasting influence. Reinvention with Ironside and expanding representation. After Perry Mason ended, Burr once again defied expectations by taking on the role of Robert T. Ironside in the series Ironside, 1967 to 1975. Playing a wheelchair-using police consultant, Burr helped bring a disabled protagonist to prime-time television at a moment when such representation was rare. Rather than portraying Ironside as defined by limitation, Burr emphasized intellect, authority, and emotional presence. The character was formidable, respected, and deeply human. Burr worked closely with advocates and consultants to ensure the role was treated with dignity, reflecting his sense of responsibility as a leading actor. The series ran for 8 successful seasons and further cemented Burr's reputation as someone willing to challenge norms and expand the scope of television storytelling. Through Ironside, Burr demonstrated that strength could take many forms and that heroism did not require physical perfection. It was a role that reinforced his legacy as an actor committed to substance over spectacle. Private life, marriage, and personal discretion. Raymond Burr was intensely private, particularly regarding his personal relationships, a choice shaped by the cultural realities of mid-20th century Hollywood. His brief marriage to actress Isabella Ward in 1948 reflected both personal hope and the pressures of the era. The marriage, which began during a period of professional transition, was short-lived, strained by domestic circumstances and the demands of Burr's career. Though the divorce was finalized years later, the relationship had ended quietly much earlier. Burr never remarried, choosing instead a life marked by discretion and emotional reserve in public. This privacy was not coldness but protection, allowing him to navigate an industry that offered little safety for difference. Those close to him described Burr as loyal, generous, and deeply committed once trust was established. While fans knew him as a symbol of moral certainty on screen, his off-screen life was carefully guarded, reflecting both personal temperament and the necessity of survival in a less forgiving era. A lifelong partnership and shared passions. In the early 1960s, Burr formed a lasting partnership with Robert Benavides, a former actor who became his closest companion and collaborator for more than 3 decades. Their relationship, while private, was grounded in mutual respect, shared interests, and deep affection. Benavides worked behind the scenes on Perry Mason and later on many of the television movies, becoming a trusted advisor and creative partner. Beyond Hollywood, the two men built a life centered on nature, business, and philanthropy. They operated an orchid business and later established a vineyard in California's Dry Creek Valley, finding peace in rural living far from the spotlight. These pursuits reflected Burr's love of horticulture and his desire for balance beyond fame. Though the relationship was not publicly acknowledged during Burr's lifetime, it was well known among friends and colleagues. Their bond endured through professional success, illness, and the quiet rhythms of daily life. Later, career and the return of Perry Mason. In the 1980s and early 1990s, Raymond Burr returned to his most famous role through a series of made-for-television Perry Mason movies. These films introduced the character to a new generation while offering longtime fans a sense of continuity and closure. Despite his advancing age, Burr approached the work with the same professionalism that had defined his career. His performances retained authority and warmth, reflecting both experience and maturity. The success of these films demonstrated the enduring appeal of the character and Burr's unique ability to inhabit him. During this period, Burr also appeared in documentaries and special programs, maintaining a presence in public life while remaining selective. He never treated nostalgia as a substitute for quality, insisting that the work remain thoughtful and credible. These final professional years were not a retreat, but a reaffirmation of his legacy, showing an actor still engaged, still disciplined, and still deeply respected. Illness, farewell, and final months. In 1993, while working on his final Perry Mason film, Burr's health declined rapidly. Diagnosed with renal cell carcinoma that had spread to his liver, he faced a prognosis with limited options. True to his character, Burr met the reality of his illness with dignity and clarity. Rather than withdrawing, he chose to gather friends and loved ones, hosting farewell gatherings that celebrated connection and gratitude rather than fear. These moments allowed him to express appreciation and bring emotional closure to a long, full life. Burr remained surrounded by those he trusted most, including Robert Benavides, who stood by him throughout his illness. His final months were spent at his ranch in Sonoma County, a place of comfort and reflection. Burr passed away peacefully on September 12, 1993, at the age of 76. His death marked not only the loss of a beloved actor, but the passing of a figure who had quietly shaped television history. Legacy of integrity, craft, and quiet strength. Raymond Burr's legacy endures not because of scandal or spectacle, but because of consistency, integrity, and craft. Across film and television, he portrayed authority figures who valued truth, fairness, and restraint, reflecting his own disciplined approach to life. Burr expanded what television could be, helping legitimize it as a serious storytelling medium. He also demonstrated that privacy and professionalism could coexist with success, even under immense pressure. In later years, his name became synonymous with justice and intelligence, qualities audiences continue to associate with his work. Beyond the screen, Burr was remembered by friends for generosity, loyalty, and quiet humor. His contributions to acting, representation, and storytelling remain influential decades after his death. Raymond Burr did not seek attention for his personal life or demand admiration for his struggles. Instead, he left behind a body of work that speaks with calm authority, a lasting testament to an actor who understood the power of understatement and the enduring value of dignity.